Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Dr. Anshul Gupta. Welcome to our surprise live session over here. Welcome over here. Please introduce yourself into the chat section. Today, I'm not only taking some question answer, so you can post your questions, but I also have a surprise for you guys. Something which has been working for a very, very long time. And finally, it is coming out next week. So, something which is going to be very, very useful for each and every one of you over here. So, that's what we are going to also, I wanted to share that with you guys. So, that's the reason I'm here. But yes, before we start the session, we will let everybody join in. So please introduce yourself into the chat section, where you are from, where you're joining us from, and what are your issues that you are dealing with in your life. Whether you are here just to get health information, whether you are here for thyroid, whether you are here for inflammation or hormones, or weight issues, any of those things, it is good to know you where you're joining us from as well as your issues. That's the way I kind of connect with people. This is like a small world that I am creating with people, who believe in me, who trust me, as well as, want to improve their health. And together we want to get there. So we'll start with introductions, and then we will go with the questions. And also, I'm going to reveal that surprise that I wanted to share with you guys. So Jyoti is joining us. Hi, Priyanka is here from Delhi. Welcome over here. Salim is joining us from South Africa. Jyoti is joining us from Bangalore, India. Wonderful. And Priyanka has a question about allergic asthma. And Terry from California, optimizing the thyroid. Obviously, that's great. And Hashimoto's disease. Chandramauli is joining us. Have UTI issues. That is an interesting piece of it. That's probably the first one that we have seen over here. A person having a UTI, having a problem with that. And somebody else joining us from India who has Hashimoto's antibody is very high. Welcome over here. Shushma is joining us from Vizag. And then somebody joining us from South Africa. Sensitivity in hands. Again, a very interesting symptom. And then Kenneth is has issues with ulcer surgery and then trying to rebuild the gut microbiome. Absolutely. Archana is joining us from Maharashtra. Welcome over here. Somebody else is joining us from Karnataka, India. Welcome over here. Um, so Salim is saying that he actually tried our fenugreek tea. That this was one of the recipes that I shared a while ago, which would help with insulin sensitivity and sugar, specifically people who have pre-diabetes or diabetes. And I think Salim is talking about it, that he did see a difference in glucose levels. So that is good. The question is that wanted to know whether it is normal to experience some bloating when using fenugreek seed. So some bloating is expected because like majority of the seeds, whether it's fenugreek seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds and things, they do have some lectins in them, so they do cause a little bit of bloating to people. That's where we try to kind of soak them to reduce those lectins, but that's the best we can do. So a little bit of bloating is expected, but if the bloating is too uncomfortable, that it is painful, or like you have too much gas production along with it, then I will say yes, maybe scale back on the dosage. But if the bloating is tolerable, then yes, it is expected to have some bloating, and generally it is safe. It is not damaging to the gut or to your body. That's great. Ohio, Dean is joining us from Ohio. That's great. Wonderful. So Cleveland Clinic, that's where I used to work, from the functional medicine department. That's where my whole functional medicine journey started, working with Dr. Mark Hyman. He established the Department of Functional Medicine at the Cleveland Clinic. And that's where I did my research into functional medicine. And I got my passion into thyroid and Hashimoto's and other autoimmune conditions. So, yes, that's where my journey started, as well as, Cleveland Clinic is a great place where we could do research, and still they're doing some research into functional medicine model of care. Tracy is joining us from Florida, having issues with the rheumatoid arthritis, lichen planus, amyloidosis, prediabetes, neuropathy. It's a whole bunch of things, a lot of autoimmune conditions that you're dealing with. And then somebody else joining us saying that, they have thyroid issues, TSH is high. And then taking, all of these waters and things. So yes, so welcome everybody over here. Thanks for joining us. On a impromptu session that I just wanted to do with you guys today, just over here. And the news that I wanted to share with you was that I am doing a thyroid summit. Okay, so it is an online event where I'm interviewing more than 28 experts, across the whole world, with different aspects of autoimmunity, inflammation, weight issues, and then thyroid problems. So that's the event which is coming up next week. It is a completely online event. So wherever you are in the world, you can join in. And then different speakers are talking about totally different topics. So the goal of this summit was to present unique perspective of different people who are managing different diseases. So we are talking about a whole bunch of things, over there. So let me kind of share with you if this little bit snippet over here. Okay. So basically, I just want to kind of share a little bit about, like, the people who are speaking, so that might be useful for you. So this is Dr. Michael McNeil. He specializes in peptides and bioregulators. Okay, and specifically, like, he works with people with autoimmune conditions and things. So they have created certain peptides and bioregulators, which are the new age treatment modalities for Hashimoto's and thyroid and inflammation. So very excited about this topic because a lot of people, don't know about it, and this is something which is so revolutionary that only a few people across the world who are using, peptides and things in the field of thyroid and Hashimoto's. Obviously, like, I have been using peptides for a long time in my practice, but if you're interested in knowing something new of what next you need to do to improve your health, then he's going to talk about that, specifically about peptides and things. Like, Dr. William Pollack is going to talk about PMF therapy. So PMF, is kind of, radiations that we can use. You might have heard of red light therapy. So PMF therapies is something similar. And again, he has helped tons of people with thyroid disorders. So this is a therapy. You will kind of hear in his talk that he speaks, specific about how PEMF, directly helps in reducing inflammation in your thyroid cells, supporting, like, how they can function. So very interesting kind of, a talk. And he has obviously made a device, a PEMF device, which has helped a lot of thyroid patients. So Catherine, like, I did not put a topic over here. So her topic is very interesting. So she's a founder of Energy Bits, which is very focused on spirulina and chlorella. So interesting part is that so people who are very vegan or vegetarian, what we see that, they want to get their protein content. And plus, it has been told a lot of times that, the vegetarian food doesn't have all the vitamins and minerals. So these two specific algae, as you can call them, which is spirulina and chlorella, have more than 1,000 research papers which has shown to improve multiple things. They have highest amount of protein in them. They have very high amounts of different vitamins and minerals, as well as antioxidants in them. So wonderful to talk about spirulina and chlorella. So she talks in detail about it. She shares a tons of information, guys. So she's going to talk so much that, and sometimes it is too confusing for people to follow. So you might have to listen to that talk a couple of times. But I will definitely recommend to listen to her because spirulina and chlorella is really very helpful for a lot of patients. So she's going to talk about that specifically, spirulina and chlorella. So wonderful speaker and has done a lot of research on it. Dr. Terry Walls. If you don't know Dr. Terry Walls, you should, because Dr. Walls is world popular, like, in functional medicine, because she was able to completely reverse her multiple sclerosis, and as you guys know, that is an autoimmune condition. So Walls protocol is known world over for functional medicine model of care to reverse. That was one of the first protocols which came out on functional medicine that was useful for autoimmune conditions. So I've worked with her, I admire her work. She talks about her story of how she was in wheelchair, and then from wheelchair she was able to get her life back, and now she's biking and obviously helping people all over the world. So very inspirational story. And then obviously she talks about like how to improve autoimmune diseases in general, which does improve inflammation levels too. Kornisak is talking about infrared therapies. So now what we're realizing is that we need newer modalities of healing therapies. That's what functional medicine is there, right? We're trying to always find what next is out there that we can optimize or use as a therapy for people. So infrared therapies again has been there for a long time, but in context of thyroid, Hashimoto's, inflammation, autoimmune conditions. We're going to specifically talk about that. So Connie is going to talk about that, how you can utilize that, how you can get the infrared therapies, what is the best sources of it, and things. Joel Khan is actually very popular cardiologist. So he is actually an academic cardiologist. That means he is working on research in field of cardiology, and obviously he helps people in a more holistic fashion. So he's looking for what lifestyle factors and other things that can be useful. So Dr. Joel Khan is going to talk about that, specifically related to thyroid and heart diseases, and how to prevent and work on those things. Shivani is actually a healer, so she kind of brings in some knowledge of Ayurvedic medications and Ayurvedic modalities of improving Hashimoto's and inflammation. So, kind of very interesting take of things that she brings in with. Dr. Bindya Gandhi actually, is again another functional medicine MD in Atlanta, and she very focuses mainly on gut as well as weight loss. So she's going to talk very specifically about why people with thyroid disorders are unable to lose weight, so that she can improve. I mean, everybody has struggles with weight loss issues, and then everybody's trying to lose weight with thyroid disorders. So she's going to specifically talk about how you can lose weight, what is the best way of using it, and what are the things that people miss out, specifically with thyroid diseases, which doesn't let them to lose weight. Felish Gers is again well known in hormonal field. She has been researching hormones for decades now. So for more than 20 years of research that she has put into for hormones, all different kinds of female hormones, male hormones, specifically thyroid. So she talks specifically about rebalancing hormones in a more natural way for all the women out there. So Rudrani Malik is actually an MD. She is an ophthalmologist. So I wanted to bring on somebody to talk about eye health and thyroid disorders, because eyes do not get the limelight, right? A lot of people with thyroid disorders have eye issues. It doesn't matter whether you have Grays or Hashimoto's disease, your eye does get affected. So how to protect your eyes when you have Hashimoto's and Graves' disease? So there are very, 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 I will say, a handful of doctors across the whole world actually who talk about improving their eye health, specifically thyroid eye health, in a more natural approach. And Dr. Banik is one of those. So that's the reason I wanted to bring her on to kind of share again her ways of improving your thyroid health, specifically your eye health in context of thyroid. So these are just a few speakers that I have. As I said, like there are more than 28 speakers, but these are the ones that I wanted to highlight with you today. Just kind of as an opening thing to you, to kind of encourage you to join this summit. It is free, so there is no reason why not to join it. And it is a completely online event, just kind of finding some time wherever you can during the whole day to get through the summit will be great. The link is in the description, so please check the link, register today itself, so you will start getting all the notifications. You'll be able to see all the speakers because it is a 5-day summit. So you will see the whole speaker schedule for those 5 days, so you can plan your days ahead of time. In case you have to take like some time off from your work or block your schedule, in case you want to hear some specific speakers. So I will definitely encourage you to join the summit. Looking forward to it. As I said, wonderful, great speakers. As I said, these are just a few that I mentioned over here. There are a lot more speakers. So please go ahead and look at those. Okay. All right. So let's open up for some questions so we can see if we can answer some of your questions over here. See what we can do. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So what questions we have. Jyoti has this question: do we need to follow seed cycle for thyroid? Does it affect in conceiving? Okay, so well, it depends on person, right? Seeds, can be done it. It is a good way of doing it because it does help with those. If you cycle things around, it doesn't. Does it really affect in conceiving? Not really. Actually, it should be fine. But again, conception is a much more complicated process. What is the reason that if a person is not able to conceive, and if your conception is normal, like if your hormones are like normalized, if everything is okay, then it should not bother that stuff. So I think that's a good thing. If you can, you should do it. Let's see other questions that Archana has this question: how to contact you. So please go on our website, shoot us an email, whatever questions you have, we'll try to answer. Obviously, as you realize, we get tons and tons of emails. So sometimes, the emails do get buried. But if you have any general questions, I'm here answering you these days. And we do these Q&A sessions very often. But if it is more personal or more, if you want to work with us, then yes, shoot us an email, and then we'll try to get in touch with you. Okay. Will it be available on replay? The Thyroid Summit? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So you can see it live when it goes online, but yes, there will be a replay later on also. So you don't have to catch. It is very difficult to capture all the 28 to 30 interviews that we are doing. So that's the reason we keep it replays, and then you can also have access to it. Even if you like it and if you want to have access to it, you can buy the lifelong access also. So yes, but replays will be there. Does Hashimoto's disease cause migraine auras? Yes. So Hashimoto's disease and headaches and migraines are very much interrelated. Okay. What are migraines, right? If you'll understand it, the pathophysiology, what that means, the base of migraines is basically spasm of blood vessels. Okay. Those spasm of blood vessels in your brain doesn't let oxygen and blood flow to the particular part of the brain. That creates that intense pain, and that also creates some of these auras, which are associated with migraines. And that is because of inflammation in the blood vessels, inflammation in the body or inflammation in your brain causing the spasm of those vessels, and that's the reason those intense migraines are there. So very often we do see migraine issues with Hashimoto's disease. So absolutely they are interconnected. Two supplements actually that works great in migraines is, one of them is magnesium. Okay, magnesium glycinate is a great supplement that we have seen great results with migraines, and the other one is vitamin B2, B for boy, and 2. Okay, not B12 but B2. So that has again shown in some research studies that improves migraine attacks. Okay, again, no side effects of these vitamins, pretty natural. So those are the two vitamins you can do. And then otherwise, working on your Hashimoto disease by all the things I share with you in terms of all the diet plans, all the other things that you can do, that will be useful for you to do that. All right. Somebody is getting excited in the chat section, asking for diet about hyperthyroidism. And we have at least 8 different messages over here. Okay. Well, go to our YouTube channel. We have made couple of videos, at least 3 or 4 videos on hyperthyroidism. So check that out. Okay. It is very difficult to give you a complete diet plan, over here in these live sessions, but that's the reason we have made these great videos where I exactly tell you about the specific diet that you need to follow for hyperthyroidism. So go on our YouTube channel, search for it, hyperthyroid graves, you will find specific diet for it, specific supplements, and you will be able to see that. Crohn's possible to reverse? Yes. So Crohn's is possible to reverse. So this was actually when I started my functional medicine journey in Cleveland Clinic. It's been 8 or 9 years now. Is that we saw this Crohn's patient who came to see us. Had horrible stomach pain, lot of blood in his stools, not feeling good, and he was taking the regular mesalamine medication also for it, but again was not improving, and they asked him to do on more biological medications, which are a higher dose of medications, which we call as biologics. He didn't want to do it, so he came to see us. Like, we did advanced gut analysis, his calprotectin was high. We put him on a series of protocol, of first identifying which bacteria he had, good and bad bacteria. He had too much of the bad bacteria. Sometimes that is also called as dysbiosis and SIBO. And plus he had very little bit amount of the good bacteria. But he plus he had very low amount of prebiotic, probiotics, and all those things. And within 6 months, we worked on the plan for him. He had ulcers on his colonoscopy, and then while working with us, his calprotectin came back to normal. He went to his GI doctor, repeated the colonoscopy, and his ulcers were gone. His obviously symptoms were better, like regular bowel movements, no stomach pain, no bloating. So yes, so these autoimmune diseases can be improved and able to reverse also, but it does require a lot of work. Okay, so it is not easy as, okay, well, you know take this food, okay, or take this one supplement that is going to do it. No, like there is a process involved with it. You have to work on all of the underlying autoimmune conditions and autoimmune things, then only it is going to get better for you. But it is possible. Ankita's question: what is a medicine for Hashimoto's disease? Well, first you have to understand what is Hashimoto's disease. Hashimoto is an autoimmune condition. So if you have low thyroid, then you need levothyroxine as a medicine. But if you have Hashimoto's disease, then you have to work on autoimmune process. There is no medicine available right now in conventional world. That's where I come into picture. The functional medicine model of care. We have created models to help improve Hashimoto's disease. So there is no medication, but there are ways of improving Hashimoto's disease through diet, lifestyle, supplements, everything. And again, our channel has tons and tons of videos on it if you want to do that. But there is no one specific medication for Hashimoto's. Any advice on people with a liver transplant while balancing natural diet and taking prescribed medications like anti-resection drugs? That's a fully loaded question and very difficult to answer, because whenever you are going through a transplant, we are very careful what you can do, right? Best thing is to follow a anti-inflammatory diet, okay? Because when you are on a transplant, the more natural way you use it, specifically focusing on your diet, the better it is for you. Supplements gets more crazy, okay? Because like sometimes there can be reactions with the medication that you are on. But make sure you are cut back on no processed food for you, no sugar for you, no fried food. So eliminate all of those things, okay? Eat a lot of healthy foods, which is good for your gut as well as healing. Collagen containing foods will help in healing. A lot of antioxidant vegetables will be good for you. Good quality protein will be good for you. So a diet which is healthy in nutrients, antioxidants, and healing foods will be the best for you to do, so that you can support your body in that way. Is Hashimoto's bundle enough? So we do have supplements, as you guys might know already. So I've created a series of supplements which is specifically focused on Hashimoto's. One is a thyroid balance supplement, which helps in reducing antibodies in Hashimoto's. It has selenium, zinc, L-tyrosine, a little bit of iodine, a little bit of rhodiola, ashwagandha, some vitamins and minerals. And then plus, we have other supplements like omegas and adrenal supplements and things. So if you don't know about them, do know about them. If you do have thyroid disorders, these supplements will be good for you. Question whether those are enough. Well, I always say that supplements are one way of doing things. Make sure you are also following other lifestyle factors. So, working on your diet, right? As well as working on stress management. And then, adding supplements will be useful. Saying that on one way you are eating processed food, fried food, like no control on your diet at all, and you're taking my supplements, doesn't matter, you take the best supplements, it is not going to work, guys. Okay, so take the supplements and then follow the diet and some lifestyle changes that combined together will give you good results. Okay, so yes, that the thyroid bundle that we have is great. You should do that, and but also look at the lifestyle things, specifically diet and things that will be useful for you. Brain fog. What about brain fog, right? What is brain fog? So a lot of people go through brain fog issues. I went through that, right? Where you feel your brain is just not there. Okay, you are listening to me, but half of the things which I'm telling to you is you're not understanding them. Okay, you're not, it is not being recognized. You are forgetting things where you meet a person, you don't exactly remember their names, where you kept your keys. You are not as sharp as before, like of answering things. So, absolutely, these are all constitute brain fog, which is a very common symptom a lot of people are going through. Whether you have Hashimoto's, thyroid disorders, whether you have inflammation in the body, or in general, brain fog is a problem. So you need to work on your brain, okay? Because ultimately, if you do not do anything for the brain fog, you're looking at higher risk for dementia or Alzheimer's when you do get old, okay? So your brain is on fire right now, the way to understand it. So definitely working on brain fog is important. Again, I made 2 or 3 videos on brain fog, so that will tell you the diet and the supplements too. But the most important supplement over here is omegas, okay? Because your brain, each 30 sorry, not 30, 60% of your brain is fat, okay? Good fat, okay? So that's amount of brain which is fat percentage. So you need to have good quality omegas to support your brain health. So whether you eat fish on a daily basis, good quality ones, or you eat an omega 3 supplement. Omegas are very, very important. Vitamin D is very important, that you should make sure that you are including these supplements. Obviously, there are tons of others that will be useful for you, but I will recommend to you looking at our videos about first fixing the diet, taking these supplements, specifically omega, vitamin D, are very important, and then a couple of other ones will be useful for you also. So somebody has this question: can I control my inflammation in my gut? HSCRP is 14.58, ESR is 48. Wow, this is very high levels of inflammation. So the way to check inflammation, guys, is two markers, right? One is HSCRP, which is high sensitivity CRP, and the second one is what we call as ESR. And if those markers are high, that is telling us that your inflammation is not located in one place. It is inflammation throughout your body, because these are blood markers. Okay. And these numbers of 14.5 and 48 is very, very high. So you need to first work on anti-inflammatory diet. Second of all, you need to include supplements. Like if we have made this Inflamma Pro supplement, which is one of the best in the market in reducing inflammation, because it combines multiple anti-inflammatory herbs. Turmeric, which is has a curcumin, boswellia. We have quercetin into it. We have ginger into it. So bunch of 4 or 5, highly powerful anti-inflammatory herbs is there. So I will highly recommend, doing these anti-inflammatory herbs. Specifically curcumin, boswellia, quercetin, omegas are very important and things. And then working on an anti-inflammatory diet. You need to work on reducing inflammation. If this inflammation keeps on going in your body, it is going to destroy not one organ but each and every organ of your body. And that's the problem with this inflammation, okay? Is that it basically kind of works on each levels, like destroying one layer at a time. Even in Hashimoto's, okay, what people think is that Hashimoto's is a thyroid disease. Absolutely not. It is a systemic disease. Okay. It is a disease which your whole body is taking the brunt of. Okay. So just working on thyroid by taking levothyroxine or any medication you're on is not going to solve these autoimmune problems or inflammation problems. You have to work on a system wide approach. Okay. Inside the body, you have to figure out why you have inflammation and work on it in a stepwise manner to improve it. Otherwise, this inflammation is going to completely destroy your body, whether it is your brain, whether it is your mitochondria, whether it is your gut, whether it is your female organs, female endocrine organs, your thyroid, your adrenals, your blood vessels, your hair. Everything gets destroyed because of this inflammation. So you need to work on the inflammation. Okay, very, very important that you should do that. But and the good news is that we see this each and every day in our patients. When people work with us, they're able to get rid of inflammation. They're able to remove the inflammation in their body. It takes time. It takes effort. Nothing is easy in this life. If you put in the work, then you see results. So yes, you can do that. Can hypothyroidism lead to bone loss? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Again, coming back to the same equation, thyroid is a systemic disease, not a localized disease of thyroid. So thyroid hormone is literally without thyroid hormone we will not be able to live, right? Hope you guys know that. If one day, we take the gland out from your body of thyroid gland, don't give you any thyroid hormone, in couple of days you will die, because thyroid is hormone is life saving hormone. So it also works on the bones. Okay, it works in collaboration with your vitamin D and calcium in improving the bone matrix. So that's the reason very commonly people with thyroid disorders or Hashimoto's will have weaker bones. So for that, what do you do? Obviously everybody knows about calcium, but most people do not know about vitamin D. Make sure you're taking vitamin D with vitamin K2. Okay, and that combined with your calcium works really good in terms of improving your bone. Make sure you're doing some physical activity in terms of walking, jogging, running. Anything that you can do will keep your bones strong. So that's what it is. Can thyroid cyst be reversed? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, so that's very difficult to say. Very, very common. Almost 90% of Hashimoto's cases will have thyroid nodules. Okay, so like you are not alone, or people are not alone. Almost 90% of thyroid of Hashimoto's patients will have thyroid nodules. Very, very common issue, because again, it is the damage which these antibodies are causing to the thyroid tissue that kind of leads to coming out as nodules. Okay, that's the reason they are there. Okay, that's great. Make a video on acne scars. Well, we'll try. I don't claim to be a dermatologist, or know everything issues. So acne scars, I might have to research it. I don't want to put out any information which I don't feel comfortable that is real and will help people out. So that's the reason I do research a lot. And as you guys would already seen in my videos, that I share a lot of research studies over there. So that, because the one thing like has been known world over is that, oh well, these functional medicine doctors just talk in thin air, and there is no research backing it, they are doing a disservice to the world. And that's what I want to change. Okay, I want to present research based information, and that was my goal at the Cleveland Clinic to get to research in functional medicine. Even the book that I wrote, that you see behind over here, Reversing Hashimoto's, if you don't know about my book, that is Reversing Hashimoto's, I talk about a protocol that help Hashimoto's patients, available world over in Amazon. You can read it. You will see at least one, I don't know, I don't remember exact number, but it is like 150 to 180 research papers I have reference in the book to support what I am talking about. So, yes, I will try to research things and then share relevant information if I find it, that I'm happy with that amount of research in that particular area. Good. Milk thistle is good for liver. Yes, it is. Yes, wonderful herb. So milk thistle has something called psyllium iron, and psyllium iron is really great for supporting the liver health. Psyllium iron, first of all, helps as an antioxidant. What it does is that it specifically reduces inflammation in the liver cells. Okay. Second of all, it helps in detoxification of liver. As you all know, the main role of liver in our body is detox. So again, psyllium iron helps in detoxification of liver, because liver does accumulate toxins in it. Okay. So yes, milk thistle is a great herb to supporting liver. Wonderful, one of my favorite ones. So recommend best kashayam and things. I'm not an Ayurvedic doctor, unfortunately, so I don't know about kashayams and things. And that's again a difference that I think a lot of people don't understand. They think that if when I talk about supplements, that I am an Ayurvedic doctor. I have no relation to Ayurveda, unfortunately. Wonderful modality. I wished like I can learn it, but I'm getting older, so going back to an Ayurvedic school for years and then learning about it might be not possible now. So I'm a functional medicine MD. So I did my regular MD in medicine, and then after that I did on top of that functional medicine certification, and also a fellowship in integrative medicine. So that is very different, like from Ayurvedic medicine. So I'm not an Ayurvedic doctor. There might be some overlap, that we use certain Ayurvedic herbs that has been studied, through research studies. So we use that, but I'm not a complete Ayurvedic doctor. So unfortunately, I don't know about these kashayams. Sorry about that. Okay. Can Hashimoto's patients take levothyroxine with supplements? Absolutely. You should not stop medications without the consultation of your doctor. Okay. So please, again, I'm not against medications. Like, I love the holistic world. I love the natural route, but there are medications which some people need. Okay. So people who have worked with us, they will know that I am not against medications, but when medications stop working, that's where we come into picture. So Hashimoto's disease, there is no medication of that with a regular doctor. The levothyroxine is not treating Hashimoto's disease. It is just external thyroid hormone. So it is taking care of your low thyroid issues. It is not taking care of Hashimoto's disease. Okay. So our supplements help with Hashimoto's disease. They are not giving you thyroid hormone. So levothyroxine along with our supplements will be the best route, because now you're tackling both the problem, because you have low thyroid as well as you have Hashimoto's disease. So yes, you have to take both of them. Great, wonderful. Have this is a very interesting question, guys. Like, somebody has this question in the chat box, that have you done any hair treatment? Are you wearing a hair patch, or have you done hair transplant, or not? So, by God's grace, like, touch wood, that these are all my natural hair, and I have not done any hair transplant. I don't do any hair treatments, none of those things. My wife is funny about it in that way. She, obviously, she uses a lot of different products and things, and I will just wake up in the morning, take a shower, and then just, like, my hair, I will just use my hand to just even comb them and just out the house. And she will at least put some gel in your hair, or at least, use something in your hair to kind of look them better. And I was like, really, like, I don't think, and I need to. And I just don't have the time, because my patients are waiting. I need to see my patients. So, like, I want to do that. I want to work on the internal sides of my body. That's what I'm more interested into, healing my body from inside and keeping it healthy from inside. And maybe that's the reason, by God's grace, that, luckily for now, the hairs are fine. But yes, I have not done any hair transplant or hair patches or anything. These are my natural hairs, and I hope that they continue to be this way in the future. But that's where I also tell people, like, yes, I may be an exception. Always tell people, hair health is not about external health. Everybody's working on their hair and, like, the scalp and all that stuff, right? Like, so these are not the places that you need to work on. If you look at my hair and things, right? So nothing I put over here. So bottom line is that it is not about scalp, or hair. It is about internal, okay? Because that nourishment is coming from inside of your body to your hair. Those hair follicles are teeny tiny follicles. They need nutrients, they need oxygen, they need blood flow. And then plus they're very, very sensitive to inflammation in your body. Okay. So if you have too much inflammation and you're not giving the right nutrients, the hair starts falling, the hair starts getting thinning and stuff. So the goal is to work on these things. Okay. So work on inside of the body, and your external is going to be good. Your skin is going to be better. Your skin, your hair is going to be good. You will have anti-aging benefits, less wrinkles, glowing skin, all that stuff will be there. So very, very important to work on insides of your body. That way you will have so much improvement on each and every areas. What do you suggest for thinning hair? So this actually, I just released a video, I think maybe a couple of days ago, about my whole three-step process, of how to help people, like with thinning hair, and I explain over there, all the three things: inflammation, blood flow, and the nutrients. Those are all the things that you are needed. Okay, so again, it is not about just one thing. Okay, a lot of people are applying serums, or, like, expensive kind of hair treatments are there and available and things, but they're only working on one thing. Okay, again, we have to work on multiple things. So you have to work on scalp, health, reducing inflammation. Rosemary oil is wonderful for that I shared over there. Then, derma rollers are good, that is shown in research studies, that improves the blood circulation over there. Massages are great, that, if you massage your hair, on your own also, again, that improves blood circulation. You need to work on hormone rebalancing, like, very, very important. A lot of males will have hormonal issues, that shows up on their hair health. Female will have hormonal issues, again, they will show up over there. So work on your hormones, rebalancing them. That is important. Reducing inflammation, giving nourishment to the hair, collagen, omegas, all of that stuff is good. So, but yes, check out my video that I put out. I'm just giving you very snippet over here. In that video, I exactly kind of share the exact protocol with you of improving the hair thinning things. Does moringa juice help to reduce inflammation for Crohn's patient? Moringa is good. Most of the studies on moringa is on diabetes because it is a very important insulin sensitizer. Okay. Now, anybody who improves insulin sensitivity in your body is going to reduce inflammation. But do we have great research studies saying that moringa can cure Crohn's disease? Unfortunately, not. So if you want to use it, that's fine. But that's not my go-to supplement for Crohn's disease. Moringa is not the one. If you ask, my go-to supplement will be the Inflammapro that we are using. Great, results with Crohn's because it has Boswellia, which has great research studies in Crohn's. Curcumin, great research studies in Crohn's. It has quercetin, again some research studies in Crohn's. Okay, so that's the reason these are the good supplements to use. And then after that, probiotics are good for Crohn's, as well as leaky gut supplement, which has L-glutamine and other things. So that will be my go-to supplements for Crohn's. Eczema, Graves, and IBS. Okay, well, these are three different problems. So obviously, telling them about all of them is challenging. But work on the gut. That's the bottom line. Okay, so that means leaky gut. Work on that. Work on gut microbiome rebalancing. Okay, how does that do? Get good probiotics. Okay, you do that. Work to that. So good probiotics, leaky gut issues. Improving your diet. Give up gluten and dairy and sugar. Three things you need to give up. Your eczema, your IBS will be gone. I had really bad eczema issues. There was a patch on my skin which was there since childhood. I always used to carry, not anymore, used to carry steroid cream with me all the time wherever I used to go because it will flare up, and the only thing that is going to work will be applying the steroid cream. Guys, you will not imagine. I gave up gluten, dairy, sugar for 4 months. That eczema patch went away. And that was my functional medicine journey, which was what, now 10 years ago. And I have not used steroids since that time. Imagine, 30 years of my life using steroids, when at very young age, starting 10 or 11. And suddenly 4 or 5 months, of just giving up these foods, improving on my diet and other things, eczema was gone. That's the power. Like, I cannot say I had fatty liver issues, I had eczema issues, I was obese, you know uh, like I had a brain fog, I was tired, I had gut issues, I had like at least 10 problems that I was dealing with when I was only 32 years of age. And within 6 months, all of those were gone. And it's been 10 years and none of them have come back. So, again, by God's grace, everything is good. But again, that's the power of functional medicine. That's the power of diet. That's the power of supplements. So, yes, you can improve your eczema, IBS, all those things by just doing these few things. Okay, I think we are running out of time now. We have spent a lot of time. It was just an impromptu session. I thought I will just be here for a few minutes and excited to share about the summit. So people who have joined later on, again, the news is that I am doing a Hashimoto's and Thyroid Summit, which is coming up next week. It is a free event online. You can join from wherever you are in the whole world. So please register for it. Have at least 28 different speakers. A lot of them are MDs, but all different areas of specialization they come into, and they talk about specific therapies and things that you can do to improve it. And again, the goal of the summit to give you actionable steps. Okay, so again, please make sure that you do sign up over there. We're going to put up link again into the chat section to sign up for the summit. So use that link, sign up, so that you can watch the summit and then benefit from the information from it. Okay, so we're going to thyroid nodule sizes. Okay, so again, we have made a couple of videos on the thyroid nodule sizes. First of all, we need to determine what kind of thyroid nodules are there, and then what you can do. Actually, interesting, in these thyroid summit, we are talking about PEMF therapies, red light therapies, infrared therapies which have shown to improve thyroid nodules. So again, watch those videos. And then we also have a I've made other couple of videos over here which I give a specific protocol for thyroid nodule patients, so that will be useful for you to watch. Because I don't want to give you half-hearted information, so complete protocol is there. Plus watch this summit, like this will be very very useful for you. It has a lot of information about different things that can be done. Okay. So, guys, I know we can keep going on and on for a long time, but again, it is very difficult to answer everybody's question. But we are going to come back on Thursday. I'm going to coming back on the Thursday again, so that we can kind of work on this thing again with you. So make sure you join us on Thursday, the same time as today. We are going to answer more questions. Like again, I will have a little bit more information for you. That's the goal every time, to provide you some information. So I'm going to try to provide some information to you also, useful tips and tricks, because we are entering the new year. Everybody wants to be healthy, and I want you to be healthy. So I'm going to share my some tips for you, and we'll see you back again on Thursday. But again, thank you so much for joining me over here. It's really a pleasure seeing each and every one of you over here. And hope that you continue your journey of health with me. Hope the videos are useful. Hope what I'm sharing with you is useful. That's the goal. That's the reason I'm doing the summit also, to want to share more and more information with you guys, so that at least you cannot say that I did not know. Okay. So if you are here, and if few months later on you still say that I do not know, then probably I've not done a good job. So that's the goal, of to at least make you aware of everything that you can do to get better today. So thank you again for joining us. It was really a pleasure seeing you all again in this lovely lovely new year that we are entering into. Let's hope a healthy 2026 to all of us, so we'll all together get healthy and get better. And I'm going to again see you again in Thursday for more questions. If your questions, when I post the community chat about the Q&A, post your questions over there, so that it becomes easier for me to take those questions during the live Q&A session. All right, take care, guys. Lovely seeing you again. Have a nice day. Okay, bye.